Hello, welcome to Tweet the Leader New podcast where we chat about realistic leadership theories. We are so excited to announce that we have two official co-hosts who will be joining the Tweet the Leader New platform. Rex Charlton and Joshua Deal. What's going on, both of you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. I'm so happy to be here in studio.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see where it goes for sure.
Yes, very same.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have both of you onto the platform because we're going to be talking about some important issues and discussions about life and about things that is important to us to help people succeed and help people be inspired. And you both will be hosting some time onto this platform. And so I look forward to the amazing inspiration that you both will bring to this platform. And so it's also a great pleasure to introduce the great, the amazing, the, what else I could call it, the model, and all that good stuff of a man. Scott Churchill, what's going on, man?
I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'm happy. I get to see my fellow freaking friends here. I'm back on the show.
That's right.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's how we do it, man.
I'm excited.
Scott, all of us are here, and we're excited to have you on board. Scott is a rapper. Scott is a podcaster now of Sick Boy, which I want to hear about too. And he's just a human being who just loves to be authentic in telling his story, which is very important. And on today's podcast, we'll be talking about overcoming obstacles. And sometimes, boys, I know when it comes down to overcoming obstacles, it's very hard to do that, and sometimes it's very challenging. So, Scott, Joshua, I'm going to allow you to share your thoughts on overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, I guess first off is I think you have to realize, I think it's important to realize everyone has obstacles. I think a lot of times people I think that they're alone in their issues or their life is, that they're the only one that's struggling. But I think when we have discussions like this and, platforms to speak out, that's when a lot of times, we can grow together and learn together and overcome these obstacles that we all face. And, everyone has different challenges, but, in a lot of respects, we all go kind of through the same stuff.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, good saying. What about you?
Gee, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, you on the hot seat. Listen, new co-host.
Overcoming obstacles. Honestly, I overcome obstacles every day. Like waking up from the morning I wake up, from the moment I wake up to the day when I go to bed, it's like overcoming obstacles. So whether it's work, whether it's driving, where trying the angry drivers, where it's working, dealing with customers, I overcome it every day. So you have to live in the moment and just be you. I'm a cool guy and happy all the time, but pretty much just live in the moment and take it as it comes.
Right. What about you, Scott? You're in the hot seat now.
Oh,
As we turn this way.
Right?
I'm joking now. But it's like what Rex said and Josh said, we go through obstacles every day, but for me, I love the obstacles. I feel like those obstacles make me who I am today. So I go through them every day, like he said, going driving, especially driving all those potholes on the roads.
Right.
Now, I'm driving, avoiding those obstacles. But there's tons of them, and I'm honestly honored that I have them because it literally makes me who I am and evolve in my character and the way I am, and I'm appreciative of them, but I go through them a lot through the day, and some of them are hard, some of them do take me down, but I just get right back up.
And see, that's what we're talking about, getting right back up. And I love how all of you use the example of the pothole as you're driving, and as you're driving into life, there are those potholes that you have to speed and bump into because they are the potholes that will get you angry, get you upset. But at the end of the day, they are learning lessons to help you to move forward and to help you to evolve to the next version of yourselves and all that good stuff. And I like how you say it helps you to mold you into the individuals of who you are and helps you to be that true, authentic self and all that good stuff. And so I encourage you in this time listening audience that when you are overcoming different obstacles, obstacles, you have a lot of things to climb. You have a lot of hills and mountains and sometimes rocks to climb and go through. But at the end of the day, if you just be patient with yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You think patience is it's hard.
It is.
It's hard sometimes. And yeah, what do you have something to say?
No, I just patience, and I have to stress potholes this year has been crazy. The potholes in the city has been crazy, but again, overcoming those obstacles and how you manage to move around or adjust to the environment. It's honestly adjusting to the obstacle for sure.
Yeah.
So, and I like the point that Scott brought up about like kind of almost being like happy for them, I guess, or I think a lot of people get weighed down by them, which is totally okay and totally acceptable. But I think if you turn it into as positive, a lot of times it can make it easier, and also just that makes you happier, and that's all what life's about is being happy and stuff like that. So having a good mindset's important. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's totally true. Scott, we're going to shift back into maybe sharing some effective strategies that has worked for you personally when you had to go through life of overcoming obstacles.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Been through a lot, and I'm glad I was, like I said before. But so you just want me to just explain what I've done?
Yeah, like some effective strategies that.
Well, honestly, one thing that I got was from you. I remember you telling me back, taking a moment, taking like a brief minute or two, or even long enough, just to reflect. I feel like every day now I do that because of you. When you told me that, I'm honored that you told me that. Reflecting on your day and realizing what you're doing and what what you're doing on the for the future, and planning it all out, and just realizing your emotions, because I feel like most of the people, I don't want to speak on people, but majority of people, I feel like they don't actually they hide away their emotions and they don't actually reflect on them. So they're going into things like hard-headed or angry, and it makes these obstacles harder. So I feel like one thing that I do and that I really encourage everyone to do is reflect. Reflect on the obstacles. Think about how you can change it. Think about what you can do. Think about there's all sorts of things. Reflecting is a really good key that I suggest.
No, that's really important. Reflecting helps you to understand what you did wrong, and also looking at ways on how you could improve on your life. And I speak about this so much, and I preach it so much about reflecting, because I feel like it becomes a lifetime opportunity for you to just succeed in different ways, because you now know who you are, and you're aware of what's going on, and now you're trying to look for ways on how you can overcome them.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's very important. Do you have anything to say, Josh?
Yeah, I just echo that statement as well, for sure.
Yeah, that's totally true.
I could go on and get more.
Yeah, no, share.
You got a whole
Please.
I love talking.
No, please share. No,
so another thing that I do, I don't you don't have to do these things, but this is just for anyone that can try it or whatever. But I my mother told me this. She said, start writing things down. Start writing things down, writing your emotions, visually writing it. Say if I have today, I knew that this was we're filming a podcast and doing this, and so I wrote it down. I wrote down why I'm nervous, or I know it sounds silly, why I'm nervous, or why I'm just all sorts of things of what I'm going through, emotions, and I feel like writing them out, it just makes me feel more. It releases the weight from my shoulder, and I get to go into this without feeling all these different emotions. Without say for instance this was if I didn't write those things down, I feel like going into this I'd be like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm this and that, and it's an obstacle. But I just wrote that down. I came in, everything was out of me, and I just came in. I'm smooth now.
That's right.
I like that. I like that. I honestly like that, Scott. I'm gonna start doing that. Writing things down and how I'm feeling in the moment, and then when we're filming, as you were saying, you know, it all goes away.
It
So
does. It does.
I'm gonna take note.
Yeah, to add on to that, do you think the outlets you have, like in terms of your podcast and your music and stuff like that, do you think that also is
That's why I love writing things down,
Yeah.
because my music, like I love writing. I love writing. I really encourage people to write maybe your books, write your imaginations, write your feelings, write. It just relieves so much.
Yeah.
And it helps you throughout your day. I swear to God, like, and it can help people. It helps people.
Yeah.
Your words can tell. Like right now, I can be when I could be touching someone right now when they hear this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and that's true
encourage
because
it.
what you're doing when you're writing is acknowledging. You're acknowledging what's going on, and that's one of the things that I've taught persons in public speaking. When I do public speaking workshops in my professional job, is actually teaching them strategies of how to acknowledge your fears. Okay, now we acknowledge those fears. Okay, how can we overcome those fears? And looking at those strategies, and then speaking about acting confident. And that's one of the things that when we go through an obstacle, how can we actually showcase ourselves in front of people
That's really good.
and be confident about it? Because it's hard to do that. It's hard to act confident. A lot of people, personally, I can only speak for myself,
Right.
is when I see people, when I go through obstacles, I'm not a person who share out to the public that I'm going through an obstacle, or I do not allow people to see my emotions, like we talked about. But a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people think that I don't have emotions.
Right.
Because they see the positive side of Templeton Tyler Sawyer, but they don't see the other side of Templeton Tyler Sawyer, which I'm not allowed. I'm not saying I'm not allowed, but I don't want to show that part because my goal is to motivate, inspire, and tell the story. I will share my story when it needs to be, but I'm not going to go to social media because I know what's the aim of the platform.
Right.
Yeah,
That's really good.
and so acknowledging those fears and thinking of ways of how to overcome those fears, and then acting confident is very important.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else to add on?
I'm trying to think as you're going, because like Rex said, we go through obstacles every day,
Right.
and I feel like at our types of age, we're used to it now. So when we go into these obstacles, we should, like, there's so many things like we can do. Like we can write, we can reflect, we can
Sing about it.
sing about it. Yeah, sing about it. We can
Listen
dance
to
about
music
it.
and
Listen to
dance about it.
music.
Like I'm a person, I dance my stress off. Like every time if I'm feeling stressed, I turn some music up and we just I just turn up to some 70s. I was actually listening to some 70s love music this morning actually.
Okay.
And I was like loving myself and feeling myself and all that good stuff in a good positive way because I wanted to feel pumped, excited, and every time my roommate, she understood, like she always say like, Templeton, I don't know how you get up early in the morning and not feel like you're tired. I say I'm tired sometimes. I acknowledge that, but I go to bed on a decent amount of time so I can have enough sleep, and I know that I'm not going to work myself hard because I'm an early bird person to think about different things about how I'm going to write and how I'm going to reflect on different things that I want to do for the day.
Right.
So I think that that's very important. So talking about sharing and giving an example of different obstacles in your life, what example would you give to the audience of an obstacle that you have faced?
Oh, big! I already know instantly when you said that. I already know what I'm gonna say. So, growing up, I've always was into music, liking music. I remember being a kid, like doing like the drums on like whatever, like the chairs that I have in the kitchen, and I always liked music. And one time I was going through a lot of stuff, which I was going through a lot of obstacles in my life with school, with family issues, and I just didn't know what to do. I was trapped. And then one time I put on like an instrumental beat. I started making music, and I felt peace, and I felt happiness, and I started doing that like every day, and it really like helped me grow as a person too, because I never really expressed my feelings until I started writing them down, which ties into what I said earlier about writing them down and also speaking about them. But so I remember when I was making music, a lot of people were like, oh, you're trash, you're this, you're that, you're all this. And so all this doubt and all this negativity was coming into me, interfering with what I wanted to actually do with myself. So that was a really big obstacle because I was in that late teenager year in high school. Everyone got to be that image, you know, that norm, and I was like I was stepping outside the box, like around my city, well, around my town in Dartmouth, people were like, no one really was rapping then, so I was stepping outside of the box.
Right.
And it was hard for me because a lot of people were doubting me, saying I was trash, saying I was this and that, and what I did was like I had to keep writing, and I just stepped away from it, and I just had to ignore like all the comments, because at the end of the day, like you shouldn't listen to what anyone has to say about you, because you're you.
Yes.
You're you.
Yeah.
You don't need to follow people. You don't need to see this and you're like, oh, I gotta follow them. Like, just be yourself, and everything will come into place. Like,
Absolutely.
what I'm trying to say is like, the hardest obstacle that I had to deal with was with people saying things. Like, I've still, like, till this day, like, I paint my nails, I change my style, I look weird, but it's like
Being weird is good sometimes.
It is.
It's being, because you're being your authentic self and you're being you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I just my biggest obstacle is people saying things, people doing this, and I just encourage people to just don't listen to it. Just be yourself, and because I've never been so happy in my life. I'm shining. I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I like, and if anyone doesn't like it, then
That's on them.
That's on
down
that.
the street you go.
That's on them, because if you listen to people,
Right.
they're not going to succeed.
Honestly.
You're not going to go anywhere if you listen to people.
Honestly.
Stop listening to people. I had to look at the camera because I had to make sure that they understand. Stop listening to people.
People, right.
Take your own
Absolutely.
perspective.
Exactly.
And I have friends that I always say, okay, your experience is not my experience.
Exactly.
And so I always try to say to people, I say, yes, you can tell me. I came for you for advice. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for almost making
You can
me
take
scared.
some of that experience, but
yeah.
don't.
Right.
Don't
Grasp
ponder.
onto it.
Yeah. And
Hold
and
it.
some people, like, if I go to some of my friends, sometimes they'll like make me afraid or something like that. But I say, like, thank you for sharing your part of the story and your advice. But I'm going to take pieces of that, but I'm not going to take all of it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's my decision.
Exactly.
And my mom, she knows me. I am the type of person, I can get advice from her, but I would not take all of the advice. But then there are some times I will take all of her advice because I know
Right.
she is,
Of course.
she means the best into that heart. And she's my
Right.
role model. And so she'll definitely do that for me.
Absolutely.
So, do you have anything to add on?
Honestly.
It's kind of sweet.
Right? When you talk about overcoming obstacles, honestly, for me, it's I could be so transparent right now. It's like people say, I'm a big guy, you know, and overcoming that obstacle was like, you know,
How'd
you're
you feel?
fat.
How'd
Yeah.
you
You
feel
know.
about it though?
Honestly, it took me a while to be like, oh, like people are gonna say what they want to say. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know who I am as a person,
Right.
and as Scott said, confidence. Yo, you know, no one can rock my confidence. Like I have
Say
the
it
most
again, Rex.
confidence
Say it again.
in me for who I am
That's
as
right.
a person.
That's right.
Like period. Like you can call me fat, you can call me whatever. I know who I am as a
Yeah.
person.
You know what you
and
just
like
said.
I'm doing big things. You know, when I model for this company, and then you know, other models are not shaped like me. You know, they are slim, they're fitted, and then there's me. You know, and you can't tell me I have the most confidence. I personally feel. You know,
That's right.
but you know, no one can rock your confidence other than you. You know, overcoming
like
that
that,
obstacle and being able to be true you, and you know, like it is what it is. It's the show. It's the full show you got when you interact with me. So, you know, finding that confidence and building that confidence and standing on that and who you are as a person. That's it.
Rock your
That's
confidence.
it. That's it.
Rock
Just
your
rock it.
confidence.
Just rock it.
Hashtag rock your
Hey.
confidence this year. Tweet the leader
That's
in you.
it. That's
Hashtag.
it.
Awesome. Do you have anything to share, Josh, about maybe your experience of overcoming obstacles, or an example you can share?
Yeah, a lot for me was like mental health. Mental health's been a big obstacle for me. And recently, I've been like able to find good strategies to combat that. But you know, echoes a lot of what Rex said, just confidence. You know, being able to be vulnerable, I think, is also a big thing. You know, not hiding, you know, your faults, not hiding your struggles, and just being able to be yourself and understand that bad days are gonna, especially in terms of mental health, bad days are gonna be there, and it's gonna be a rocky road. But you know, just sticking through, you know, being persistent. I think persistence is really key. You know, and just allowing yourself to, you know, be okay with not being okay and not being 100% all the time.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. That's a really hit home there, because you have to be very careful of the atmosphere. I think the atmosphere also sets the tune as to how you heal and how you go through things, because you have to make sure. Listen, my bedroom is my sanctuary. I always tell people that's my sanctuary. That's where I go to heal. Then that's where I go to relax, and so I have like a bunch of pillows. I have like maybe 10 pillows.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
10 pillows, because like I'm a pillow person, so I like to like just drown in my bed into pillows and you know, like good stuff. And sometimes I just throw the pillows away, but sometimes I'm just there in those moments and all that good stuff. And I just want to encourage people today, as you continue to move forward in this life, continue to build with you, continue to be yourself, continue to shine, continue to show off your light. Let your light shine, and don't allow people to distract you.
Right.
Don't allow people to deter you from where you're going.
And
it-
hashtag
Rock your confidence.
Yes, rock your confidence.
Hashtag rock your confidence.
Rock your
And
confidence.
I think that's a really good way to end the episode. Scott, thank you so much from all of us for coming on to the set today. And we look forward to having you on board at the next episode or whatever episode we have you back on.
I'm always
to.
welcome, man. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
you
You're
guys.
always welcome, man.
This
You're
platform's
always welcome,
amazing.
man.
You're doing amazing things. All you guys are amazing. Even the team behind, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Scott. You as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you at the next episode.